wonder it's... Unlisted, that's why. Hello everybody and welcome to the show. And as you just saw there, we've obviously got if I can just get rid of that, there we go, get rid of that, so I'm back on screen. So just saw Picard come up as the cutest. Hopefully it didn't make you all jump too much. Cheers Matthew, I do like to try and make an interesting intro if I can, and unfortunately that's the last time I'm going to see Locutus pop up in my intro, because obviously, yes, sad, let's all shed a tear, the Borg is finally done. But anyway, so it's time to jump into game, and like I said, from the Discord announcement, we have got a lot. Hi Sam from 008. Are you trying to be one of the license to kill people? The special license of MI5 or something like that, or is that server 8? So, well, what are your opinions on the last 2 months? Yeah. It's been an interesting couple of months, I should definitely say, if anything. I'm not... yeah, no, server 8, yeah, I thought... That's what I thought. But for me, the last couple of months is... January was a lot better in terms of features for the game. and going forward for the future. This month wasn't so much. Sorry, Matthew, already done today. I don't need them back out. Now they're having a nice kebab and pizza break. So they deserve it. They've been on the right gun today on mining Sealat, which I've actually had fun with myself today because, yeah, I took about 1.7 million in OPC today. So I was actually quite happy with that. Yeah. First time I've actually done a full OPC. Could do without the past 2 months, despite the Talios and Solos being a good thing. Yeah, to be perfectly honest, Jane, I agree with you on that one. There hasn't been much in the way. I mean, last month did actually bring out a couple of good features. From, in my opinion, obviously the Solo Armada's been the first one. And also the Fleet Commanders. Now, to me, this new feature, it's got its ups and downs. But, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's something that I'm missing. But I just can't quite see where a lot of these benefits are coming in for me. And as you can see, I've got Spock. I've not even got these two. And the fact that Scopely expected a lot of players to go out and get Locutus, well, I think that kind of said an awful lot to last month. Now, as you can see, my Spock's already at rank 12, level 55 out of 60. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys actually went with Spock or how many went with Kirk. Or was there actually anybody brave enough to the $100 pack and go for Locutus? So, let's say if you got Locutus, let me know how you think he's actually doing. Now, let's have a look at the actual skill tree for Spock. And as you can see, I'm already onto the 3rd level down. Sam and Babik, you've gone for Kirk. How are you guys finding him? Is he actually providing any benefit to your game in any way? Because I mean, it's like I'm just wondering about how much mining. I mean, what we've got here, we've got improves the hull health by 85% at the minute, and it's like I'm not even sure I've actually noticed any changes in the hull health for my ships. Yeah, it needs to be on duty. So, and obviously recently I've opened up these ones, obviously the selectables. Now, this was a good change that they actually did. The impulse speed's great for Kirk. Nice. I need more impulse speed. Well, we all need more impulse speed. I mean, I'm watching some of these mantises in the acting space, and I'm just thinking, Jesus Christ, I mean, where have you gone? I'm trying to ratio you to that next target, and you've shot off ahead of me. So it's like they're leaving me for dust. But, yeah, what have I got on this one? Ship construction speed. Woohoo! Faster ship building. Not like we actually get to actually build many ships. Impulse increase is okay. What are you finding with the downside to it, Stan? Because I mean, by the looks of it, a lot of you have already gone Kirk. Oh, you got Locutus, Charles. Nice. How are you finding Locutus? Because I think he's the one who seems to be on the rarer side in the game at the minute. I mean, I'm sure we can call up Locutus. Oh my god. Better so much when I finally do get a computer. I mean, looking at his... I mean, we've got the let's actually go into the skill tree. The combatant. And just kicking off, and he's like piercing against players. You like him a lot. Chance, has he provided any benefit to your game? Because obviously I think that's going to be the big thing with a lot of these skill tree ones, is how much of a benefit is going to provide to your game. I can say though with Spock, I have actually noticed a difference in mining speed. That I've probably lost about half an hour in time. Well, should I say? Well, whichever way you look at, gained or lost. It's half an hour faster. But obviously, I usually do most of my mining overnight anyway. So, but is the other ones? I'm not quite sure about how much I've actually noticed, but I thought I'd just go through them and just upgrade them just for the sheer devil of it. But the one thing I can safely say though with Spock though is the damage he does for hostiles. I have actually noticed that in the game, and obviously you'll know that from the video I did on calculating your energy weapon damage. Yes, in PvP, and the 1 level has nanoprobes increase. Nice. Is the nanoprobe increase actually helping you with your grind? Hi, Matt. Kids are fine. Son's finally out the chickenpox stage. He's finally gone back to school. Thank God. He's in bed, so hopefully we're not going to get disturbed by him tonight. Mrs. decided to have another seizure phase today. Oh, that's brilliant, Charles. That means, yeah, you should be doing pretty well. I mean, have you got the Talios yet? But back on the family, but yeah, the rest of the kids are all doing fine. So, luckily I didn't have to send the missus to hospital today. Or should I say she did not want to go. She finally came round. So, combatant. So, you got the nanoprobe one. That's mitigation. Mitigation. Damage. Is it having a decent effect on your Talios? Because I know the one thing is at the minute, mine's obviously tier 2, and I'm not finding much use for her at the minute besides the OPC hunting she did today. Has anyone in chat actually got Spock yet? Because that would be a good one. Has anyone got Spock yet? Armadas. So salvage components increases nanoprobe rewards with the Vadar. I know there's only I know there's not many in chat at the minute. So, a lot of you have got Kirk. So, whereabouts have most of you got to in regards with Kirk on your tree? Because obviously at the minute, I've not even got him. I mean, how many shards away am I? Does it say how many shards? Oh yeah, I'm only at 41. Have the Talios and all 3 faction fleet commanders. Nice one, Jane. You've got all 3. Are they providing any benefit as a total for you? Or, I mean, have you even got level 40 command center yet? I mean, I don't know if there's any players in the game as a whole that have got a level 40 yet, but it'd be nice to know if anyone's actually reached level 40 yet. Sounds like you had a fact up day, home kids sick, major health issues, wise. Yeah, it can be a bit of a whacked out day when that happens. It usually does throw a lot of things into spin as like, well, I'm going to be able to do this, I'm going to be able to do this later. So, but it's just a case of ride the rapids. Ride the rapids and keep a hold of the ore as best as possible. Charles, you've got a level 40. Nice. So you're going to be benefiting from 2 command chairs then. Talios T3, 900 faction credits in refinery. Anyone know what T4 credits are? I think there'll be about 960 by now for a tier 4. I think. I would put it up on the screen for you if I obviously could add screenshots to this live stream. It would be absolutely amazing if I could, but unfortunately, it's not allowed to happen at current. I'm just waiting for the developers of Prism Live Studio to actually add that in. So, but anyway, as you can see, at the minute I've got mine to level 20, so it's slowly progressing. I think they pushed the Vidar without good future plan in Locutus abilities. How do you mean by that, Barbaric? Because the idea of the Vidar, what are you working on tonight? We're going over everything for the last 2 months, February and January, and I've even printed off the grading thing that Rev Juice and Archduke did. So we're going to use that as a sort of like a little question thing about the features that's added and how you guys are actually finding them. I mean, obviously now we've had the command center for 2 months, so hopefully by now a lot of players will be seeing a lot of work. Kirk Impulse 18, Ship XP 55%, Klingon damage 70%. Nice. Kirk rank 5 of 20, CC's 18. Nice. More for Vidar than the Talios. Oh, right, yeah. So, what you're saying is that the things you're finding in the command center are not meeting for the Talios, but yet they're meeting nicely for the Vidar. Because if that's the case, then obviously, yes, that could probably more along the lines of mean that they are literally aiming Kirk at the below 40s players. Because I know they want to get Command Center okay, the Battle Pass okay, limited. Not much for the lower level officer sub 34. No, there is. Now, the one thing is about this, saying there's not a lot added for players below 34. There is already a massive amount in the game for you to do. You've got all your specialty ships to get through. And trust me, that when you finally get them all, that takes time to upgrade them all. I mean, when you think about how many specialty ships you've got, starting with the Franklin, the Botany Bay, the what's next is the Devore. After tier 4 is not more useful, I think. You're not finding it useful after tier 4? That's weird. I mean, I know my Alliance Admiral's got is to tier 5 already, and he's absolutely loving it, and he's saying that it comes into its own more from tier 3, which luckily I'll do. Nice one, Sam. Well done, mate. Which one's your next one, buddy? But the tier 4 Talia should be really kicking butt against those level 36 probes. But yeah, I use my Vidar more for grinding, probably because I can get 6 million in 10 minutes with eco comms. Yeah. Now that's where the big rub is for a lot of players. Romney, nice. That'll be the best best route to go. Talios, the higher you get, the refinery gets better. Yes, it does get better to a point, but you will end up when you get to tier 5, you're finding you got to do the 1 million inert nanopro grind again. But for a low level Talios, XCOM, sorry, yeah, yeah. I mean, I know No One showed this principle of stacking the exocoms and still using your tier 9 Vidar in lieu of the Talios, which, from what he was, it doesn't matter how far you need to go, Sam, you will always get there eventually if you actually go for it. So that before you know it, that 1.6 million will actually disappear. Hey there, pets. Welcome to the stream. I pull 1,000 faction credits in my refinery. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Sorry, I've got an annoyance on my leg at the minute. But yeah, the tier 9 Vidar will still outperform the Talios with the XCOMs. Now, what is... hi, 23. Sorry, I meant the Vidar is not more useful after the Talios hits T4. Oh, that's what you mean. Right, yeah. I was going to say, because a tier 4 Talios should be doing pretty damn bloody well. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame really that those XCOMs that they brought in for the Vidar don't actually work on the Talios. It's a massive shame. Because that players could be... And I think Scopely have missed a mark with this one, really. Because players will continue to use the Exocoms to great advantage on a Talios, which means Scopely could have then made sure the prices for the inert NAM probes converted into charge, put the price up a little bit more on that, and get more player activity, sort of interaction with the Borg side of things, rather than just, you know, send your Vidar in for 10 minutes, job's a good one, with the Epic one. So anyway, moving back onto the command center, how is it? Do you think this was a feature that was a good idea, a good introduction to the game, or do you think it was a waste of time? So I mean, I'm interested in what you guys think. I mean, I know some of you said you got a small noticeable benefit. Tier 2s can't stand a chance against Max Vidar, Ops 36 Vidar, Cargo 522. Talios Cargo's max was 250k in one run. Yeah. And Matt, the way that happens is because of the number of officers below deck. Once you can actually get the Talios to its the max bonuses, once you can max these bonuses out, I think the Talios will be there. So you liked it, Sam, did you? That's good. I get 450 to 480 probes with Talios 2 on 36s. Nice one. We'll do a run with my Talios later on in the stream. Next tier, Ops 38. Nice one, Mark. Talios tier 5 doing fabulous against the 36s. So I'm seeing a lot of players saying that even a tier 4, tier 5 Talios can take on the 36s, not a problem. But yet I'm not seeing anybody actually saying that it could take on the next ones up. So is this something that we're predominantly seeing with the Talios, or is it something you haven't tried yet? I mean, what is the next one? The next one's the 37s in Killadin. Can is be worth due to tag team? Dustin, can you be a little bit more specific with that one, because I'm not quite sure what you're trying to ask. Command center, another avenue for revenue. Yes, 23, I totally agree with that one. Like I said, I've not really noticed it. Hi, Andre. Welcome to the stream, mate. You do the 37 smash, no problem. Nice. That's good, because obviously then we're obviously seeing that the Talios can actually perform. Command Center could be good, but it takes a long time to get to 40 unless you spend the money. So free to play, pulling 25 command points will take forever. I'm pulling 22 of those communicators at the minute. Yeah, I guarantee. So it will take forever and a day. Bring back 1.96 million. Nice. Once the Talios is at max for your ops, and Fat Both is tier more, it will crush the Vidar. Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping, because like I say, mine's only tier 2 at the minute, and I'll show you. All I've got so far is a weapon and the engines. Oh, and the shields. But tomorrow I can do something else on the ship. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at potentially, a weapon. Maybe. Yeah, pretty much a weapon or something else. I'm only going to be able to do one everything. Fat Borg. All right, yeah, Fat Borg. Yeah, I mean, a decent Galanar would also be very beneficial. I mean, it's not one officer that I've actually noticed a great deal of it. Yeah, 10% boost at tier 1. I mean, yeah, it's going to take a while. Two personal Vidars and Vidars. Okay, Dustin, that still didn't make any sense. 2 personal Vidars. I've got two Vidars myself, and they're both maxed out. And to be perfectly honest, both of them still outperform this. Now, I'm not going to lie, she is a beautiful ship. Hey, Nuts, what's up, man? She is a beautiful ship, the Talios, and I'm not going to lie, she is a brilliant introduction to the game. But I think the one thing that's become clear for these last 2 months is it's the same with the officers. It's going to be the same with the Talios, the fleet commanders. It needs to grow before it becomes effective, and I don't understand why Scopely's done this. Now, the sourcing for the Talios this particular month, was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic for free-to-play players. I mean, I'd be happy if it took me the whole battle pass just to get this on free-to-play. My problem with the players, it takes away nanoprobes from my faction quest. Yeah, now that is the problem, is the refinery around this thing is pretty pretty shocking when it comes to the charge nanobot, the inerts to the charge conversion. T4 with 2 fatty, I pull 1.2 million nanoprobes. A tier 2 Galanar, I pull 1.2 million. Nice one. Do you actually use 5 of 11 on the bridge as well? Because obviously that's one I use. But no 5. You haven't got a 5 yet? What? Joseph, what level are you? 4 Strange New Worlds. Well, that's as good as anything. To be perfectly honest, the Strange New Worlds crew is actually on specialty ships for anyone below 52 is actually the best on the specialty ships. Now, when it comes to the Stella, however, Pike Moreau Chen still outperforms the Pike, Hemner, and whoever for full synergy, I mean, Primary Chen still outperforms it because of how Chen works. And Hugh is key. Yeah. Well, if you've got Hugh, then yeah, he's the one officer I did not manage to achieve in January. And the one thing is, luckily, with the refinery, in the Solo Armada part, is he in this chest? I don't think he's in this chest, is he? No, he's not. He's in the epic one. So, sadly, it's 2 days, 6 hours away before I can actually pull that. But we will get to run an epic today as well. But yes, Primero Chen on the Stella. Spike, Hemner, Una not really working on the Stella. No, I won't put Hemner and Una together because you won't be getting full synergy. So I would probably recommend one of the others, Spock or Pegasus or Uhura for full synergy. But even again, it's still not as good as Primero Chen. It doesn't function well on the Stella because PMCT is designed for hostiles under 50. Yeah, they are designed for under 50, but the one thing is the Stella is a specialty ship and has extra boosts due to the research it has, whereas ordinary combat ships, like your faction ships, don't have the research with them. So, the immense amount of research. Highest Eclipse targets is max out 40. Yeah, and to be honest, I think Scopely really do need to do something about that, adding some extra high-level systems in for us in regards to the Stella. But I know because of some of the stuff that they put in, like with the Starships research tree, the Bajoran in the Bajoran faction store, that they are trying to push Stella out of it for the higher-level players. Because to be perfectly honest, by Ops 45, realistically, by Ops 45, as a free-to-play player, you should have completed the Stellar tree on the Stellar Particle front. Obviously, there'll still be other bits of research in there that you can do through the G4. But other than that, it should pretty much be, when the Stellar Particles should be kind of finished. Ideally, I mean, there's no actual target set. There is no target set. That's just my personal opinion. By Ops 45, you should generally be pretty much finished with the Stella. Now, obviously, that doesn't quite work as planned, as otherwise Rev Juice would have actually completed it by now, instead of still be plodding along at Ops 45 and still having to do Stella. If you get Hugh, you'll find one of the biggest for PvE grind. You'll get a 50 to 60% in number of reds you kill. Nice. That's actually a nice increase, that one. And obviously that means it's going to be cheaper repairs, because if you go for the same number of kills you would normally do, you're going to be not using as much hull, which is always beneficial. So, anyway, so now, how are players finding the solo armadas? How are players finding the solo armadas? Because to me, yeah, if anything, I only need to send the one ship. Got 56 shards, but it's not enough. I'm up to 46 and still working on Stella. I might well say, have you been focusing on the Stella all the way through since it starts, or did you do what Rev Juice did and just sort of like put it to one side for a while and thought, yeah, right, bad, I can't do them? Yeah, Sam, obviously if you are below 35, then you won't be able to do them at current. And I love them. The best rewards save for the new cubes. Oh, let's not even talk. Not at first. Right. So you did put it to one side. I mean, I put my Stella to one side for a while. I don't do the level 29 time. Yeah. So don't worry, mate. You still got plenty to do. Get that Vidar up to tier 9, and then it's going to be ready. Get your Franklin up to tier 9. Get your Devore up to tier 9. Get them ready. But about 5 months after I'd been constantly on it, yeah. And the problem is that, Andre, I mean, yeah, you're level 46, but it's the epic Armadas you need to find and you need to do. I can beat the Borg Armadas since I got the Talios. My Talios can't even scratch an uncommon at the minute. I mean, it might be able to do the 35s, but I'm not dropping myself back down to that, to level 35. But yeah, and it's the one thing I'm finding, Andre, as well, is the epics are a pain in the ass. I mean, I mapped out the not always available. No, I go for the ones in Midge, the 37s. I've just learnt as well recently I can take on the level 40 epics, providing I've got 5 other decent sellers properly crewed out with me. And they do pay out a bit better. But as well, at the minute I'm trying to smash some of this research through the Starships tree as well. Saladin, Vidar, Talios against 35 green ones. Ah, right. Oh, I think what we'll do is we'll test my Talios itself against one of those 35s. So obviously we've got to get the Valdor out of the way first. I've lost my trail of thought. I've been doing that a lot lately as well, losing my trail of thought, which is not a good sign. Oh, so expansion cubes. Does anyone want to talk about how good they are and how fantastic they are? Or are we just going to say, yeah, right, whatever, with that one? Franklin tier 8, nice. Vidar tier 7, smashing Sam, keep going. Probably does that to us. Yeah. I really slacking in my highest ship is a Kelvin. There's nothing wrong with that, Andre. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I know I should be looking down here when I'm talking to her, but obviously all the comments are just above you at the minute, the way I've reorganised my desk. So, but don't worry, I'm reading all the comments as we're going through. They're not that bad to do. Really awesome expansion cube. My alliance is Borg, so almost all of us have the Talios. Same with mine, Joseph. Same with mine. We're obviously Borg Alliance as well. So, right, let's get the Valdor repaired. People below me have higher ships. To be honest with you, mate, it doesn't matter if they're below you or not, if they've got high ships. Hi, Mark. You're right what you're saying, 34. There's so much to do before worrying about the Borg. Finally got me Enterprise this week. Just need to lock off my Vidar Franklin before I move 35. Exactly. Loads to do. Get them up to where you need them. If you want to get a second, like a second Franklin and a second Devore, if you like collecting ships and you want to get them all maxed out, because my goal is to get all the ships, get them maxed out eventually. I'll get there somewhere. So, right, now, let's change. Oh, I got the boost. Yay! Not that I actually care about that boost. So, do that one. Right, so let's go send this thing against the 35 and see what it can do. Alright, so we need to go here. But my alliance is good on expansion queues. We do like 10 to 15. Wow! 10 to 15 at a time. Gee whiz. We struggle to get one. And we did do the other day 2 in a run. We did do 2 in a run. But the problem is we can't hit those 42s. We can't take them on. I saw 142 million. $142 million. Oh, you've got a lot of spenders, have you? Well, to be honest, nothing wrong with the spenders. Nothing wrong with them whatsoever. They're the game's best path to making sure that we continue to have a game for one. I mean, let's not mince words. If they don't spend, we don't have a game. But as well, they'll also get the extra things like the extra directives and all that as well. So they're prepared to even spend. Even have an Op 60 in our ranks. Nice. We've only got one Op 60 on our entire server. And he's in the top alliance. And his total power is like twice that of the next player below him in power rankings. So, and the next player below him is level 59. So, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with spenders. I spend a little every now and again. 20 quid. That's all I spend a month. But that's literally all I can afford. So where the hell is this Talios gone? Come on, boy. Get a move on. Now we'll see what he can do when he finally actually shows up. We also only have one on our server. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of level 60s is going to be pretty far in between. I mean, I know there's going to be quite a few in the US servers. EU servers, I think, are a little bit more reserved when it comes to money. Either that or we just don't get paid enough. Right, so easy. So let's try this 35. Let's see how he fares against this 35. I'm 5,000 4-star rate or from Ops 47. Nice. I'm sure you'll be able to get that one soon. I'm on the EU server. Yeah, same as me, Pat. I've noticed that, yeah, there's spenders in the EU servers, but they are nowhere in comparison to the American servers. I mean, I can't remember who it was I was chatting with the other day, and they were saying about incursions. Pit the EU servers against the US servers, and you'll find out just who the real spenders are. And I had to agree with that. The US spenders will beat the EU servers hands down. Literally, they'd beat the EU servers hands down. Because there's a lot of players on the EU servers who will cry foul over any little thing. They'll throw paddies over any little thing. And I'm sure that's the same on some of the US servers as well, but they're just told to suck it up. So, I mean, I try that and just say OPC is OPC. And when they turn around and saying, you really hit me for a couple of hundred. Well, yeah, you're OPC, mate. Get on with it. And the best ones as well is when you're getting stung in acting space. Nope, my Talios got the Borgamadas are pretty easy. Yeah, they're pretty easy unless you just like that. I mean, Talios has gone boom. I mean, let's have a look at the battle log on this one. How much damage did it actually do? Actually, not too bad. 55%. So that's not that bad. People hit me all the time. Don't even worry. No, I mean I don't when people hit me. My miners are constantly OPC. Mine's tier 2 nuts, but then again I've only got one weapon. I'll be able to get something else upgraded in the morning, but So, well, we went 5 rounds with this one. Obviously, 6 of 11's working. Yeah, then that's pretty much it. Khan's obviously building up his stats. Do we start getting more criticals? Yeah, we start getting some more criticals. Lost the shields. Okay, now, what I'm actually going to do is, because I do have some uncommon armadas, and to be honest, I did actually save them for this stream, because I was expected to use them, is I'm actually going to pit an ordinary, a tier 9 Vidar up now. So let's have a look. Right, so we're going to get that. Sign officers. Right, so I've got max stats already. And so I need... So let's get the below deckers in. I don't want the new ones because they were... Who's that? That's Gosa. We want Tindy, Mariner. And then we're going to go for a bit of health. Let me have a look who we've got. We've got Bones. We've still got high attack stats. Don't forget to mine materials. Yes, bonus refinery is around the corner, starting event change on the 1st of March. I've had to focus all new tally, but now it's a problem collecting solo credits. 48,000 is not enough to process properly. No, it's not. And I'm actually going to agree with you on that one, Does. It's not enough. It's like absolutely ridiculous. So now I'm going to send that Vidar in, and we're going to have a look, see what this one does. But no, I totally agree with you. I mean, the changes that they made to the refinery have actually been pretty good in terms of the faction credit payout, the independent credit payouts. But when it comes to the charged nanoprobes, yeah. And I think the way it's like that is because they're expecting a lot of players to run expansion cubes and do them quite frequently, and then go and do that extra piece in the refinery. And let's just go in there and have a look. I mean, I think they're literally expecting a lot of players to come and do this. I mean, you've got a chance of a 46 or 53, but even still, that's not even a guarantee you're going to get either one of them. The chances are you could end up with the 6,000 inactive. Ain't nobody doing expansion cubes. No, I mean, we've done a few, and as you can see, in the 3 that I've participated in, I've only got 25,000 of these fragments. Wow. When I need 72 just to do one chest pull. I mean, as well, in this chest, they've only put 2 officers in it. Where's Goza? Why was he not considered special enough to put in here? Was he not important enough to put in here? I mean, to be perfectly honest, I expected him to be the officer you got free to play this month. But he wasn't. Need too much coordination. Exactly, us. And that's the downside with the expansion cubes. Too much coordination. Because you need to get your fleet together first. Then you need to all run a solo armada so you all get the buff for your Talios. And then you go in and start the expansion cube. And then ideally you're going to need things like your Defiant buff, your Cerritos buff. I've spent so much time on grinding buildings and research hardly nothing on ships. Yeah, that is another point with this game. And for some reason that is echoing. It's doing my head in. That is another thing as well. Is the amount of grind you've got to do for your buildings and your research. It's just like there's so much in game that needs your materials and needs your resources. It's a balance for certainly. Those expansion cubes seem like a lot of time and effort in game. They are. I can't see my alliance being able to coordinate on that level Scopely, no, we all have jobs, right? No. According to Scopely, nobody has a job except them. Now, that's me being facetious. I'm sure they are aware that everyone has their lives and things like that. But they're trying to get you to participate in quite a lot of stuff, and obviously they know not everyone can do everything, so perhaps if they actually do just enough, you'll spend quite a bit of money just to make the progression. So, yes, Jane, it does require a lot of coordination with your teammates, as obviously we've just mentioned, and how much of a pain in the ass it is. My primary is to exchange charging on a price for indie credits. Credits and all charging MB upgrade, not bothered for upgrading the Talios. Yes, Pat, I can see where you're coming from. Congratulations, Andre, on 1 billion for the Feds. I'm in the same boat. I've done the Feds, now I'm working on the Romans. I'm actually getting pretty close to glorified. But, Pat, to be perfectly honest, right, I can't even make an argument against not focusing on your Talios, with the exception that obviously the independent credits will get better payouts the higher tier you take your Talios. So, and also, yeah, if you're stuck at the lock, then by all means, what I would recommend you do is go on to stfc.space, go to the Talios, work out how much it is in charge nanoprobes to go from the tier you're currently at to the next tier. Build up your charge nanoprobes, and then anything above that, just spend on the independent credits and all that. And where is the customer support? Where's the customer support? California, I think. I think they're in California somewhere. Why? I know. What do you mean by why? Because there ain't no support. No, to be perfectly honest, I from our perspective, with a lot of it, no, I'd have to agree that there is no support. But no, there is some support. They get some bits done, but some of the problems that they get inundated with are well above their pay grade. It's well above their level. So obviously that's why they say, well, we pass it on to the correct team. So it comes down to those correct teams. And if those correct teams are not listening to the players, there's not an awful lot you can do. Now, obviously RevJuice has put out his survey for this month. I filled it in. I'm sure a lot of you filled it in. If you haven't filled it in, by all means, go check it out. Go get the link from my last video, or hop onto RevJuice's YouTube channel. He'll have it in his video for not the one he's just released on the Borg officers today, but yesterday's video. And obviously fill in the fill in the survey and let them know how you done. But customers, the game design is listening at the minute. So why wasting time cancelling when you can only get 48,000? Don't waste your time. Just get your ship upgraded. They're in the US, so we can all hop on a train and knock on the door. Yeah, I don't know what your train tickets cost from New York to California, but yeah, I'm sure you could do that. I did not upgrade my ops to 38 because of all these ops locked ships. Takes time to collect all the materials. It does, Pat. It does take a lot of time. And to be perfectly honest, right, the game is not a rush. It's not a sprint. It's a walk in the park. Okay, that's the best way to put it in terms of speed. Take your time. Do your stuff. You don't have to do everything. If you want to try and do everything, yes, it's going to take you longer to do. Hence the reason why at the minute I'm still playing catch up. But luckily, I'm nearly there in terms of my research and everything. I guess I'll see if I can work on getting a Valdor. Yeah, you could get yourself a Valdor. I mean, to be honest, the Valdor, between the Kelvin and the Valdor would probably be the easiest one to upgrade. Because you've got things like your Jellyfish event, Jellyfish Ball, you've got your Parabellum, all paying out the materials. Your Cerritos events, which actually does pay out the stuff every week as well. So the Valdor is going to be the easiest one to upgrade. So, but yeah. Now, on this particular thing in the Borg refinery, the only thing I find of interest and actually high importance is actually this. It's the only XCOM for the Talios to increase your loot. But the problem is, it's locked behind RNG again. Spending my money on for the Battle Pass and the Blitz Pass. So I'm a mini dolphin. Then spend as much or as little as you want. Picking one thing, focus on, achieve much more. Yeah, I mean, in a sense, you can do it all, but it will take you time. It will take a lot of time to do everything. And me, I have that freedom of having some time in a day where I can get pretty much mostly all my grinding done if I wanted to. If I really put my got my head down into the game solidly, I could easily grind out my Borg probes. I can do me Stellar. I could do the Swarm. I could do me faction combat grinding. What's the other one? I can do my Jem'Hadar bug hunting for all the antimatter pods. So I could get it all done in 3 hours. Easy. But that's not getting any excess. That's literally keeping it to like 25 kills here. 550 inert nanoprobes to do the charged nanoprobes. So 550,000. So literally just like one Vidar run with an Excom activated. Stellar, 2 particular runs to do 1 daily pull. Swarm, literally 22 kills. That's the dailies done. And for the Jem'Hadar loot, only, 11,000 antimatter pods I need? And I can do that in a day, and it just keep on top of everything every day. Mining takes longer, because obviously, mining times. Unless you pop an Excom, in which case it reduces it by a little bit. Makes it a little bit faster, but not by much. Took 9 months to max my Vidar and Franklin. Yeah, I mean, 9 months is still pretty reasonable. It's better than 7 years to max out your Enterprise. That's for sure. Based on your refinery pulls. Obviously, there's your events and everything, so that does bring it down to about 5 years to max out your Enterprise if you're on a pure free-to-play path without doing the elite side of the Battle Pass. But yeah, or any leaderboards that you manage to join and get a little bit of materials out of when they actually pay out materials. So, but yeah, so that's your only XCOM for this. Now there is a couple more. Obviously, the higher up your Talios. As you can see, the Talios for this one is 1 to 4. So I'm guessing the next one will be 5 to 8, and then it will be 9 to 12. The Devour and Discovery. Oh yeah, they are a worse grind. Discovery especially. The Discovery is a right pain in the ass to max because of how long it takes you to get the spore particles. Not spore particles, the spore parts. But when it comes to the Devour, yeah, it can be a pain in the ass. Especially when if it's your very first Devour. If it's your second Devour and you've already got your first one locked at tier 9, tier 9, it's not a problem. You can get the next Devour up quite far. If I am lucky, get my Disco to T6. T6 is still pretty reasonable for a level 36 player. So I won't worry too much. But obviously I would definitely make, if you looking at the tomorrow, yeah, I'd say, yeah, that will go on your RNG, but yeah. I mean, let's have a look. I mean, oh, hello. So, now, yeah, Spore Drive components, obviously, that's what you need. And I'll tell you what, right? Let's just see how many of these we're actually going to get. I got 157. Whoopoo! But I do have the benefit of having a maxed out Discovery. Okay, I've got two. I've got two tier 9 Discoveries. One's maxed out level 45. One's about only halfway through its levels. Because I don't really use it. I've got it just in case we, some point in the future, might get the Discovery A and we might need to scrap it. I did the exact same with the Vidar. Got a second one, maxed it out ready. Oh, Lord and behold, we didn't need it this time round. But, yeah. So, right. Oh, the Vidar's in place. So, let's run. Let's see how well she does. Now, bearing in mind, obviously, the Vidar, I've got more officers below deck. I've got better stats. The average loot with a 6 disco chest is 19 to 24 spore parts. Yeah. Your Discovery's T6, Sam. That's good. That's good. I mean, like I said, the game's not a rush. If it takes you a while to get the parts, it takes you a while to get the parts. Some players' RNG is pretty good, where you'll get the parts fall in like it's confetti, or some will fall like it's a bloody rock, and it falls down once every 10 million years. So it just varies. My RNG can usually be pretty crap. So, how's everyone finding the hailing frequencies as well? Well, that's probably hid behind the thing. Okay, so it didn't survive. But let's have a look at the battle log. Oh wow, wow. Wow, I think that's pretty conclusive. You hardly use them. I thought I would hardly use them, but I've actually found that I've been using them a lot more than I expected to outside the events, the 2 events that was ran for them. So, well, we went one round short. Only used for the events, other than useless. Not my cup of tea, but some of the teammates seem to enjoy them. I really like the board cube emote. Yeah, I mean, the board cube emote I do like. But, I mean, I just see them as a little bit of fun every now and again. There's not much to them. Have they added anything to the game in retrospect? Well, Not really. I think, to be honest, I think what the hailing frequencies will really come into their own is when you can put like things like quick. Excuse me. I do apologise. Some quick texting saying like, piss off or leave me alone, or some colourful stuff that I'm sure a lot of people will actually put in. Alright, let's get me ships back into line. Now, the one thing is I will say with the Talios is putting up in the solo armadas is going, because of the research that there is with it, you're also going to get some extra loot out of it. I mean, it's not an awful lot, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but so right. Scanning with my alliance members when they've joined my armada is very funny. Yeah, I mean, we did that during an expansion queue. We were just spamming the hailing frequencies out. I mean, we weren't really that bothered, but it was just something to pass the time. Loot is loot, and loot adds up over time. It does add up over time. And that's the one thing is I even sometimes forget is even just a little bit here, a little bit there, and it adds up. Yes, it takes time. Oh my god, my lordy! It's not even 11 o'clock yet, and I'm already yawning. But yeah, it does add up. It takes its time, but you get there eventually. Right. Now, let's run one of these, shall we? Now, I'm obviously going to use the Valdor in it because I want to see if the Valdor can take it. Yeah, it's nearly 11 PM here in the UK. So, what time is it where you are, 23? 6 PM here. Oh, 6 PM. So that's the Eastern Seaboard time. So you guys are just having your tea. Is anyone having anything special for tea? I had a tuna salad sandwich. I didn't have much tonight. So, almost 3 PM here. So, you're on the West Coast. You're closer to Scopely than any of us, mate. See, 3 PM. Yeah, you're on the West Coast. That means you're pretty close to Scopely. Almost 24. Here, almost 24. Do you mean midnight? Woo! We got to Hemner. Midnight madness. Yeah. Well, usually it'll be midnight before the stream finishes anyway. I just walked back inside with a plate of freshly grilled burgers. Oh, burgers. I haven't had a proper burger in a while. Took it out. Ooh. That means the Valdor's not going to be able to take on the Epics by itself, but with a bit of support, it will be able to take on the Rares on its own. That's an interesting one. Alright, let's get the Talios repaired. Yes, midnight. Yeah, I thought you meant with the 24. Yeah, it's 3. They don't have customer support. It's just a tribble that will close conversation. Yes, they will. Let me have a look. Let's see if we can legal and help. Now then, let's have a look. See if I can actually get up the last conversation I had. Oh, here we go. So the last conversation I had Oh yeah, I was having issues with the Yacht for the Future. Not that much in front of me, but obviously, where does this go? Other technical issues. Right, so obviously I went in, reporting a technical issue, and then obviously the one thing is like, why does it need to ask all these damn things? I mean, seriously. No, I don't want to provide an email. Okay, no problem. Which version of the game you got? Well, I'm on the Android. I'm on data. And then obviously turn that, and then obviously it's not any of the known issues. I was having a bit of issues where some of it was reading English, some of it was reading in French. Give me a ticket number, and can we get the screenshot up? Yeah, and as you can see from the screenshot here, the word Cadu at the top, and then obviously all the titles were written in English, and then all the timers were written in French. So it was like, huh? So it was annoying me, and then obviously Danny from customer support gets in touch, and obviously recommended a few things to do. I'd already done these. Yeah, there are way too many steps. Who do you use Riker with just to figure out 3 crews ready for 35? I'll show you that in just a second. Then obviously, so thank you for your help. I tried those after I sent the message, and I think it's thank you for responding. And then I got sarcastic. You can close this particular case for now. And then obviously Dan went off and closed the conversation. So, yeah. So sometimes it can be helpful. I mean, that was a relatively easy one for them to... Mon ami. My French is a bit rusty. So, right, let's get this repaired. Right, so Riker. Now, normally this would be a crew that I would... The computer says no, exactly. This would normally be a crew that I'd put on my Enterprise, because I'd use Kirk for the shields, Riker as captain for, obviously, his ability with Armadas, and obviously builds up having Crusher on the side, using her stats, and obviously with the Enterprise as well, need to make sure you've got the officer slots below. And what I do is with this crew is I aim to get the bonuses to max if possible. Obviously on the Talios, no chance of that one, but then stack defense stats for Crusher's ability. That's literally all I would do with her. If it's the Augur, I'd probably change Kirk over... No, you have to cough. Yeah. If I was using the Augur, I could probably turn her over to Giorgio. Nero, unfortunately, he's more... He just sticks below deck nowadays. Don't really come out to play with the big boys on the bridge anymore. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I do with that one. So now, let's go into the refinery. Borg Tech, and yep, here we go. We can claim a chest. So let's go claim a chest. Woohoo! Ooh! Oh yeah, 2 of 11. I need to upgrade him yet. We're struggling for... No, that's no problem, Mark. I mean, at the end of the day, it could... If you've got the directives... I mean, it's like, just take a while, build your directives up, and then run some tests. Different crew formations that you can think of. And just see what you can come up with, really. I didn't see how many loots I got, actually, in that one. But that's never mind. So what we're going to do is I'm going to send all 3 ships in. Just to, you know, do this epic. Might as well get this epic because I've got an epic in there. Now, also, we got another improvement in terms of the diplomacy tags. Yay! So, now, obviously, unless you are a Commodore or above, I mean, right, is it that one? That one? Yeah, here we go. Alright, so, let's move myself over here. So, let's have a look. Demote. Here we go. Set diplomacy. Alliance diplomacy is the that line there. As you can see, you've got to be a Commodore to set the diplomacy. Anything lower than that, obviously, you're not going to be able to play around with the diplomacy tags. But if I show you the diplomacy tags that we've got, I mean, let's use a bigger sticker. So yeah. And if we click on the little eye, and then if we click on the little pencil, you can see all the nice little tags that we have. Now, to me, the only one that really needed to be added in here was civil. Because below neutral, do you really need a caution sign? Do you really need an unfriendly and an enemy? Unfriendly in this game can usually pretty much mean they are your enemy. So, and yeah. Now, the way I see these tags is various positions, right? And I'll put this to my Alliance Admiral, and I'm hesitant to put it to the server at the minute because they don't change very much, but I've been looking at this as Allied is your full nap. Is no base raids, no APCs, no zero noders, and that's it. Nothing, absolute nothing, and you help each other out. Now, when you go down to friendly, you can potentially remove the zero nodes on that one and say, well, no, because if we need a node and you're sat on a zero node, we should be able to take you off it so we can actually use the node. There's no harm in that, my opinion. But we're not going to raid your base. We're not going to steal your loot off you because obviously we're friendly with you. Now, next one down will be civil. Well, no, now we're going to take that loot off you. Yeah, so now we're going to kick you off a zero node. Now we're going to take your loot, but we'll leave your base alone. So, to me, unfriendly enemies, if you see him, thumbs down. Yeah. And then neutral, obviously, is whatever. Caution, I can see a little argument for caution. Is beware of this alliance because they might cry when you hit them OPC. Unfriendly is, yeah, I can't think of anything for unfriendly. An enemy, well, kill on sight. Simple as that. But they decided to expand this out. But the one thing is, sometimes you don't want to do it against a whole alliance or punish a whole alliance for the actions of one or two players. You might just want to tag one or two players and say as enemy. So you'll go round and you shoot them. If you say you've got a massive gripe with another player on your server, you might want to mark them as enemy, so when you see them, you shoot them all the time, just to really upset them. But then again, you might have individual players on your server you're actually quite friendly with and everything. So you might mark them as friendly, those individual players as friendly or allies, so you know not to hit them. Or if you got a little special agreement between you two, then you kiss my ass, I'll kiss yours. Yeah, you could mark them as allies and yeah, but marking a whole alliance, yeah, it means you've got their alliance. Unfriendly steals always the apex. Steals the apex. What do you mean by that, Pat? Anyone about means take the piss? or something like that. But anyway, so that's the tags. I mean, now to me, have they added a value to the game? Not really, not really. To be honest, I mean, just making it, to me, all it does is those just make it more complicated to decide on things. I mean, the one thing is at the minute, you've got to explain to players allies, you don't shoot them. Because some players don't understand it properly, which is kind of weird, but hey ho, that's the way it is. Okay, now this is a heroic event, and I've just got two, and I've done at least 2 milestones. Okay, fair dues. Well, if that's the case, then I might just see what I've got on the other ones and actually go out and do them. Do items. So I got 1 rare Dominion. I could end up with a rare one there when it comes round. I'm not going to get an ordinary. Here they are. I've got 1 rare ordinary Armada, so that's possible to use for an unfriendly tag. Yeah. Yeah, I say they steal off you, so they're not very friendly. Yeah, I suppose you could do it that way. Right, so that's them done that job for me. So, in all, then, how's everyone felt about the Borg arc as a whole? I mean, have you actually? Has it been interesting for you? Has it been something that you've actually enjoyed doing? Has it added any value to your game? Obviously, the solo Armadas have added a certain value. The improved refinery with the Talios has added a bit of value. Can't go get the chest at the minute, but I've definitely got enough to pull it. I'm actually curious to know how you all feel about it. I mean, in my personal opinion, they could have done more. They could have done more. I mean, to be honest, right, during the Deep Space Nine arc, they added the Bajoran faction store. Why not give us a Borg version of that? Or are they saving a Borg version of this for another update on the Borg in maybe a year or two's time? Could they be doing that? I can't even pull my Bajoran stuff. Ever since getting this defined, it's thrown me completely out of whack. Completely out of whack. But decent value, but boring as could be. C-. That's a fair grade, to be honest. I mean, I did grade January as an A, February as a C, and so in all, I would definitely have to say a C at least, as a bare minimum. Maybe you could say a B, but I think there's a lot of detractors as well from it as a whole. I like the rewards, being able to pick the crystal gas, helped me get my first G3 Enterprise, hoping to stay in the game as an option. Right, that Dabo wheel, to be perfectly honest, right, is it still... It's still here. So, now, obviously, I've lost the other that's all I'm left with. Now, when this came out back in February last year with the Ferengi arc, I literally thought, what the flipping heck is this pile of crap? And I've never liked the Dabo wheel idea. Now, I understand some players' thoughts on it. They like the simplified version of this, as recently mentioned to me. And I totally get that. You don't want too many choices. You don't want to be thinking, oh, do I want this? Do I want that? And all that. Me, I'd like a little bit more choice when it comes to why can't I go for some ore and some trait XP? Why can't I do that? But I mean, that's just me. But what I will say out, and Jane, I understand you saying that the event store was lacking. This is not an event store. It's not an event store. Yes, it's placed in the event store tab, but it's not an event store. Because an event store contains things like officers, ships, parts, and a lot more stuff than what you're getting in here. Now, if you actually sit down and take the time to add up everything that you're going to get in here, so like for the ISO emulsion and all that, you're looking at 90 times, and the music's going to stop a minute while I do this because I'm just going to get the calculator out. If I can find it, there it is. Right, so what we've got, for me, I've got 3,906, and I can do 90 of them. Get out of town. 351,540 for a full 90 pull on this. Dabo style rewards, blah blah blah. Yeah, and that's what I thought, Jane. But obviously, when I sat down and worked it all out, to be perfectly honest, some of it wasn't actually too bad. My view on it has been tempered and it has been changed. I'm not going to lie, and that was just this month alone. But previously, I was like, yeah, like whatever and everything. But despite the fact that my view has been changed and tempered, I'm still going to say this. I still prefer my rewards in my events. Period. I'd rather Scopely just put the rewards in the events for me. Let me do the events and actually go after them, instead of letting me decide here. Now, the biggest piss take in Dabo Wheel is when they put the officers in it. Platinum, that's been a godsend coming out of here for me this month. I needed 1,100 ore on Monday and had them by Friday. Yeah, exactly. And it was there for you when you wanted it. Let's just quickly go back to the trait XP a minute, and let based on me 813 times 90. So out of this, if I'd have actually gone for it, I could have got 73,000 trait XP. Now that's not enough to do the third trait of an epic officer. But it's enough to do a couple of officers at least, in all honesty. And then obviously you got all these speed ups and all that guaranteed on top of it. So I pull as much as I can the away team chests. And after they were gone, material chests. Yeah, and that's what Scopely wanted to do. They wanted to give you that option of deciding where you wanted to go with this. Me, I went resources and materials all the way. All the way. Because that was a better option for me. Exactly. There you go, Jane. I mean, why not? Literally, why not? At the end of the day, you only get 2 officers out of the 3 times. So I do 2 spins and back out, then go back in, and the RNG starts over again. Yeah, exactly. The RNG is actually pathetic. And there you go. I mean, 6% chance of getting a Borg Queen shard, 14% chance of a rare shard, and it's one or the other. 10% chance of Latinum, or a 70% chance of the speed up. And I guarantee you, most of the ones I got was a flipping bloody speed up. And it was not even that bloody decent a speed up, neither. I didn't even get an officer shard 2/3 of the time. Yeah, exactly. And that was a problem for a lot of players. They weren't getting the shards that they wanted. Yes, I managed to unlock the rare officers, but I still didn't get the epic out of this. But a major reason I didn't like it, just put the officers and materials back in the events. Exactly, and that is generally where I like my rewards. I like them in the events, because then it makes me work towards those events better. Because working for like 500-600 of the of these store credits, you're just looking at it thinking, really? Is it really worth me doing it? Is it worth me putting the time in? But when you look at the rewards for the events, you're thinking, oh, yeah, okay, I'm off for that one. And I need all them. And it's stuff that you actually want. Yes, okay, this still contains stuff that you want, but, yeah. Now, another thing that they could have done was do a Dabo style wheel mixed with the events having the materials. Put your resources and materials into your events and add some of these credits to it as well, which you can build up, and then get a Dabo style wheel for the officers, Latinum. Forget the speed up, right? Because that 15-minute speed up is like, what the hell? I'm a level 42 player. What's a 15-minute speed up going to do for me? Really? I mean, what's it going to do? Jack crap. That's literally the, on God's honest truth, it's going to mean nothing. I got much more waiting crates than all the months before. Well, that's nice. I've been noticing I've been getting a few more away team critical successes lately. So, which is always good. But in this, they could literally just done a Dabo style wheel for officer shards and the Latinum, and put the event currency in the events along with your resource and materials. But I don't know. I mean, maybe that's too much for them to think about. I don't know. But what more can you say about it? I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to be the biggest fan of the Dabo wheel. Not by a long shot. They've still got a long way to prove to me that this thing can actually be worth anything. But the payouts for the resource and materials weren't actually too bad. If you focus specifically on those particular chests, it wasn't a bad payout whatsoever. But again, that's just generally my opinion on it. But yeah. Now, the one thing we haven't looked at yet is all the officers that we got this month. And I suppose we really ought to go have a look at the officers. Now, Tal, it's great that they finally added Tal back into the game. Finally! But is he actually going to be worth anything? I mean, at the minute, his only sourcing is actually here. And obviously, as you can see on the timing, you've got 17 hours left to actually go buy the pack. So, and I'm looking at potentially a bit of a delay lag. So, let me think, So, we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, Nearly 23 seconds. My God, that's a... Is that better? Will that bring it back up? I don't know. I don't know if that's... So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, that's better. 8 seconds. Now that's a lot better. It's because obviously I'm looking at the screen above me and it's got quite a bit of lag on it. Not anymore. It's gone back down to 8 seconds, which is roughly what I would expect at the minute. But no, adding talent to the game, I think it's about time he was added. He can be a fantastic officer. Obviously, I understand why he was broken. Since obviously I did the video after watching Rev Juice's video on him and then understood the reason why he was broken. I mean, Jesus Christ, a 42 trillion hull health Rialto. I'd be absolutely loving that. Absolutely loving it. But so right. Right, there we go. My son's woken up, crying again. So I thought tonight was gonna be too good to be true. But anyway, so we've covered pretty much everything that I had on my list. The only thing I haven't got covered is the officers. I will end up doing a video going through the everything that's been added, and I'll grade it as a whole in the end. But I have to say, unfortunately, I'd have to end the stream here. We managed to actually get longer in a single run than we did last week, which is good. I can't even hear him at the gate. I think he might have gone back to sleep. No, yeah, he's definitely waking up. So obviously, I'm going to have to end the stream there. So thank you all for coming and onto the stream and joining in the chat and sharing your views as well. I'll be sure to put some of the things that you've also said into the video about how you feel the game our last couple of months were. But until then, all I can say is stay safe and live long and prosper. And I shall catch you on the next video. So thank you for joining me. Goodbye.